Do you love animals or our planet? Well, if you do, a new study suggests eating a vegan diet could be the single biggest way to reduce your environmental impact on Earth. Make yourself healthier, plus saving animals in the process. Researchers at the University of Oxford found that cutting meat and dairy products from your diet could reduce an individual's carbon footprint by up to 73%. And no less than 40% of Americans are obese, and about half of us are taking some sort of prescription drug. Adopting a vegan or whole foods plant-based lifestyle can improve your health, improve the health of the planet, and save millions of animals from the meat and dairy industry. A vegan or plant-based diet has many amazing health benefits. There are some differences between a vegan and whole foods diet. A vegan consumes no foods such as meat, eggs, dairy products, or honey that comes from animals, and also abstains from using animal products such as leather and silk. A whole food plant-based diet is a way of eating that celebrates plant foods and cuts out unhealthy items like added sugars and refined grains. Plant-based diets have been linked to a number of health benefits, including reducing your risk of heart disease, certain cancers, obesity, diabetes, and cognitive decline. One big difference is that you can just eat Oreos and chips all day and still be considered vegan. And yes, Oreos are vegan. You can still be unhealthy on a vegan diet, but it's best to add some veggies and fruit in there to balance it out. Vegans can eat processed and refined food, which are delicious, but they're not very good for you. If you eat a whole foods diet, you wouldn't eat those Oreos, chips, or any highly processed food. It's probably the healthiest lifestyle to follow if you do it right and get the right amount of vitamins in what you eat, which is very doable. You would emphasize whole, minimally processed foods, avoid animal products, focus on plants, including vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, seeds, and nuts, which should make up the majority of what you eat. You would also exclude refined foods like added sugars, white flour, and processed oils. With a whole foods diet, you can lower your risk of prostate, breast, and other cancers, prevent and even reverse heart disease, prevent and treat diabetes, lose weight, have more energy, live longer, and so much more. The documentary I would recommend about a whole foods diet would be Plant Pure Nation, available on Prime Video. In the video, a neuro-oncologist from the University of Cincinnati of Neuroscience Institute stated, "People and physicians alike can accept that nutrition is the cause of a lot of our chronic diseases, and we've accepted that pharmacology is a treatment for our chronic diseases, and I think it's difficult for people to accept nutrition as a treatment. A vegan plant-based diet has a lot of positive benefits for the environment too. Veganism combats world hunger and conserves water. The UN, along with other agencies, reported that not only did livestock play a major role in global warming, it is also the leading cause in resource consumption and environmental degradation, destroying the planet today." A lot of the food that's grown in the world isn't being eaten by humans. In fact, 70% of the grain grown in the U.S. feeds livestock, and globally, 83% of farmland is set aside to raise animals. It's estimated that 700 million tons of food that could be consumed by humans goes to livestock each year. Livestock also guzzle more fresh water than just about anything else. They are one of the biggest polluters of fresh water. A global shift towards a vegan diet is vital to save the world from hunger, fuel poverty, and the worst impacts of climate change, a UN report said recently. As the global population surges towards a predicted 9.1 billion people by 2050, Western states for diets rich in meat and dairy products are unsustainable, says the report from United Nations Environment Programme's International Panel of Sustainable Resource Management. It says, impacts from agriculture are expected to increase substantially due to population growth increasing consumption of animal products. Unlike fossil fuels, it is difficult to look for alternatives. People have to eat. A substantial reduction of impacts would only be possible with substantial worldwide diet change away from animal products. Last and definitely not least, this lifestyle saves animals. Many people call themselves animal lovers, but all the while eating them. There are a lot of misconceptions about how animal products are obtained, and we often turn a blind eye towards inhumane animal agricultural practices. Factory farms and slaughterhouses don't want you to know what's going on, because if you did, they would lose your business, and it's all about the money. Putting the animals in as little space as possible to save money getting them as fat as quickly as possible to sell them faster.
Chickens who are raised for meat have been selectively bred to grow at 3 times their natural rate. As their bodies grow too quickly, their legs struggle to cope. Many birds die, unable to lift their own weight to reach food or water. For others, their heart and lungs simply cannot cope with such unnatural growth.
But the good news is that PETA, or the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and other animal rights groups expose these big corporations all the time and show the world what they really do. My first brush with veganism was in 9th grade when I watched a PETA video, and I was so sad because I didn't know what was really going on. Since then, I have done hours of research, watched every documentary I could find, and even got my husband involved. He just recently went vegetarian, hoping to ease his back pain and migraines. He was skeptical it would work, but it really has, and plans on making the transition to a vegan diet soon. So if you love animals, earth, or, yourself, eating a plant-based diet can help with all of that, and you can know you're making a real difference in the world.